I think we might be in for an exciting game here.
That's what we came here to see. The French and the Germans both eager to take this tournament out.
Hilary Humes and Sean Colfer bringing you this mixed game, very exciting game with bad audio, unfortunately, but we'll make the best of it. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, enjoy. Thanks.
Big throw from Germany, and there's the first score of the game. Big throw from Julian Darton and reeled in by Gerlinde. So I'd be looking to try and crowd that handle space. See how the Germans set up good. Against the French defender, overtaken the French now very shortly. Break throw, and there is the break back. We are back. France 2-1 up.
A phenomenal run-through block for French side.
Hey, we're hosting some live viewing parties this coming weekend for Windmill 2021. If you're looking at this video later, you can still see the live recordings on our YouTube. Subscribe to find out when we go live again. Now, back to the show.
Oh, great catch just outside the end zone. Good pressure on the dunk from the French players, but it looks as though we have a travel ball by Ronald Bichot on that hook from Spiegel.
Let's have the spike of the disc back into the hands of the German side.
As we see the replay there, the travel must have come just before the turning. So it's very, very strong, mixed out with head on Euros this year in York. That line to climb. Germany leveling things up at 2-2.
It's neck and neck. We knew this was going to be a nail-biter of a game, Sean. Both teams, they're here to win, but they're here as a warm-up tournament for EUC in a few weeks' time. Rising in the turn of events, the Frenchman looked at the disc, thought he was going to catch it. It was floating so softly. I thought, this is such an excellent pull.
Just taking his eye off it, hitting the finger, and it's a turnover. Huge opportunity for setting up horizontal stack again. There, clearing out the other side. France doing a good job downfield here, really limiting the options. Big blade over to the far side of the field. Henius, back to Jung. Just that blade into the end zone, decides against it. Climbing the disc, just outside the end zone. No mark on him as yet. Back to Jung. Decides against that. High release backhand break, back to climb. Big German with the disc. Jung on the sideline now, looks at his dunk. Fakes that high release again, Klein in the middle. France doing a really good job keeping Germany out the end zone here. Looks like a travel, Klein back out. Jung goes into the end zone, Klein isolated now, hasn't really got any options. Jung comes back. Looks at the break side, great footwork there from Verena Becker, and that is a score for Germany. France kept them out for quite some time there, Hilary.
Fantastic play from the German side. They did seem a little point, getting stalled and a bit stagnant down the line as we saw the effective defensive program of the French team forced to be reckoned with the French side. Germany's probably coming to this quite analytically, thinking about what they can do to shut down those options as we saw in the zone. It was quite effective against Yoda. The French side.
Yeah, we've seen this before from the Germans. They like having their 3 female players when they're on the field in a cup, and having the male players marking spaces downfield. They've been picked apart a little bit by the French down this near sideline as we look at the game. We're looking from a very similar perspective to you, and the French have been going right to left with consummate ease at the moment, making up yards, and someone wide open in the front corner there. I'm not 100% sure that zone quite worked as they wanted it to, Hillary.
The French side definitely were able to move down the blitz quickly and quite comfortably. They weren't pressured by it at all, they were just happy to maintain the pace that they could, maintain possession of the disc, move slowly, and I don't think that the cut was necessarily set up, when you got close to the end zone line. I think they clamped in a little bit more. I think they were a bit loose, and it might have been an opportunity instead of, it's tricky in these moments whether you should transition to a match defense and get closer to the end zone. That might have played a difference in the results.
Looking for an option. We're back in this 4-player isolation. Young flying just upfield. Spiegel. French coach block close there. Thrown to the side of the field to climb. Fine with a height mismatch. Whoever's marking him, but just cannot find his player down the sideline there. Bishop with the expansive hammer out to the far side. Not much space there. Bishop running into the break space, just outside the end zone. Marked by Spiegel, looking at his dump. Not much movement here for the French, but that doesn't matter for Bishop. Lovely throw underneath the force, front corner. Another goal for France. Others darting with this in the middle of the field. Hand to play, Darton goes deep. Great catch there. Nice, easy goal to Wallace. Great throw from Darton. Clearly a handle play called off the line there. They've had a lot of passes so far, and we're only just past the brick mark. Good zone D from the Germans there, and it's a poach. Great catch in the middle from Combray. German player came in thinking he'd spotted it. Rosen was going to be able to go and get that block, but fantastic catch from the Frenchman. Has kept possession. He's now trapped on this sideline again. Big rolling swing out to the far side. Plenty of space over there. Same again over this side. French taking advantage of the fact there's very little wind, and there's all the way across again, and there we go. 3 full pitch width passes, and it's
no issue whatsoever. They had such good composure, and Combray coming over the top with this impressive grab.
great catch.
You've got players like that on your team, the confidence that it implores amongst the other players.
Quick movement out, just over the brick mark now, in the centre of the field. Young on the disc. And again, French defender has overtaken her mark there. Céline Antoine with a great block, and the French knee line with a chance to punch it in and get them a lead. Give and go. Gets them into the final third. So we have a far female player protecting that back cone over there, and then we have the imposing figure of Klein patrolling the centre of the end zone. Already pushed the French back a good 10-15 yards there, crowding the disc. We've got 5 players within 10 yards. And
Sean, that was almost a hand block from the German player.
An interesting throw choice to just pop it off despite intense pressure, and Germany gets in there. Looks as though there might be a call. Lizzie Gerischer getting in on the Frisbee, but yeah, it looks as though Aman Susu has called, he's definitely called an injury. Has he called a foul as well? Bichon comes on. Looks to me as though it might be a turnover. Great interception there from Gerischer to take the disc away, and that German D coming out of that timeout was absolutely fantastic. And they are wasting no time. Big hut to the end zone. Great score for the Germans. Momentum swinging stuff here.
The French are now recognizing that type of play, locking in on that tight defense, not allowing many options as we see them.
Going up the line there, very close to a German D. Back towards the center. Both Germans going with the up the line cut. Force back on. France center the disc. Really tight handler marks, but a good throw into space. And there we go. That is a break for the French. A poach trying to minimize the space for the throw, but leaving someone open just behind them. And coming straight out of half with a break. France back up now with a 2-point lead, 8-6. Long shot turned down there. German player in plenty of space. Erdmann downfield, but they elect to keep it moving around the back. Looking for Spiegel, but it's just out of his reach, and France go with the early start. Looking to quickly get this into the end zone. Good swing out to the far side. Turns down the break. Up the line, wide open, and another break for France, and they are now 3 points ahead, 9-6. Fakes the huck. Stifling D downfield for France. Shutting down those long options. And that looks to me like a strip, and it looks like both players agree. Yeah, Frank had his hands around that one. In the middle of the field, no stall. Dials up that big pass. Sure, just reeled in by Huang. Really fingertip stuck for the Germans. They're having to push the margins because the French are pushing them all the way, and that is a fantastic block by the French.
So good, all over the field.
That is a very unusual mistake from Ronan Bichon. And then he's beaten in the end zone. Bichon is under pressure, but he's just let that go underneath his hand. And a nice throw from the Germans. And that let them out of jail a little bit because the French D was absolutely phenomenal there, Hillary.
It was beyond anything that they could have ever wished for.
French champions are just moving around the handlers. A big block there from the Germans.
It's just what they need. Keep that momentum going and move the disc quickly.
Germany now with the disc. Throw to Wallace just outside the end zone. Back to Darton. Great inside throw. Gets it back again. Sensory pass is available. Takes it. Out to the far sideline. Germany being very patient here, not forcing anything. And there it is, Wallace towing it in on the front of the end zone. Big break for Germany, bringing it back to 9-8, still 1 point down, still a game here, Hillary.
Practicing his toe point pirouettes because that was a beautiful towing of the line. The German side managing to get that block, just what they needed to. Closing on that deficit on the French side.
High leverage moment, brings out one of their star players, fakes the hammer, doesn't want that. Easy pass back into the center again. German cut reforming. And hands on discs, and it's another turnover for Germany. Far too casual with the throw over the top to Bichon. Later on, as Hillary says, they just put everything into these next few points. And Spiegel with a wrap around the back and a hook, and that is a picture perfect shot right into the end zone. Unmarked player, clearly a play that Germany drew up, and that worked like a dream, Hillary.
As you said, just like a dream, just as they prescribed it. That play went off without a hitch. Puck it deep. We've got the receiver ready. We know what to do.
Tap back in. Darcy uses his feet to prevent that big shot. French stuck on that far sideline at the moment. Strong downfield deep for Germans. French are working it up a little bit at a time. A cheeky high release. Throw to the dump there. Travel called. Sure. Pointing very clearly at where he thinks the thrower's pivot point should be. Chevalier mustn't have heard him, threw it anyway, but we're back now into the center of the field. Two German players with a couple of buzz switches there. Schurk looking at the dump. France, a hander slightly isolated, but a good move back by his teammate. France setting up with the dump on the break side, trying to isolate as much space as they can on that open side. The stack is still a little far over. Clearly looking to isolate as much space as they can. Swirling around, Schurk following the handler. Strong the handler D. A nice throw and a good catch, and there's the hook. The French have been looking for. Nice catch at the back of the end zone. Put into a really tight space where the defender had absolutely no shot at it.
Caught just in time, right before that end zone line. French side came out there with so much intensity.
Both perfectly fine calls, but they just slow the game down slightly and they add to the pressure the Germans have been feeling in this crucial offensive point. Jung, their main handler all game. Big win for Ronan Bichon, and there's a strip called here. Clearly differences of opinion between the two players. Very, very close. Hidenius coming back, the captain, to offer his view. Massive bid from Bichon. You can see on that slow down replay, they've both got their hands around the disc. Hidenius is talking to his teammates downfield, trying to tell them where he wants them. Has to get rid of it. And it's a block from France. A stall out called. The German player indicating that it would be contested. You would think if the German player is going to contest it, the French player is going to withdraw this call and it's going to be a turnover in any case.
Turn it and get on offense again. We'll play to another point. Because there can be no draws in a semi-final. We must know who will be in the finals tomorrow.
An absolutely filthy IO backhand there. Up the line. France with the disc. Big hammer out to this far side. Flying a little bit too far away from his mark. Put pressure on it. France with the disc. Into the center of the field. France moving it from side to side. Travel called. Break the mark. Ronan Bichon. Pick of something. A call anyway because one of the German players is down. Frisbee in this situation. Chagnon turns it down. Back into the center. Bichon still with the disc. Looking at his options. Looks at his dump. Beautiful inside throw. Looks as though there's a pick. Don't think it affected that throw, so we are staying on the far side. Great cut by the French player. Can't quite get free, but Chagnon can, and that is great footwork to keep her back foot in, toe the line, score the point, and win the game for France.
Oh goodness, Sean, as you say, superb footwork. She'll be dancing up a storm tonight with that impressive hop and step to keep that disc alive and score the final point, giving it the score 11-9 to France. Fantastic game and a big matchup for the neighbouring sides.